Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. My website is teamchicago.tv, teamchicago.tv. We're at Kersting's Harley-Davidson, North Judson, Indiana. The riders that are riding the Cannonball Run, they started in Portland, Maine. They're running to Portland, Oregon. This is one to stop for lunch. We're going to talk to these people. We're going to look at these bikes as they roll in, and it's going to be a great day. So in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to try to capture everything that took place right here at Kersting's Harley-Davidson, North Judson, Indiana. Don't forget my website, teamchicago.tv. As the bikes start rolling in, I should point out between 800 and 1,000 folks came to Kersting's to welcome these riders that are riding across the good old USA. Let's see if we can identify some of these bikes. First bike, I can't spot a number. The second bike, that's Norm Nelson, bike number 58. It's a 1928 BMW R52, and he's from Crescent City, Florida. As we see Jason Kersting directing traffic, it is a great day to be in Indiana, right here, Kersting's Harley-Davidson and Yamaha, as we swing over and look at the front of the old Harley-Davidson shop. They have expanded over the years with the museum also. Now looking down the road, we spot this gorgeous 1916 Excelsior. The rider is Mike Jensen. This pretty gray and red Excelsior turning into the parking lot. Sounds great. Now look up the road again and we spot two bikes. These riders are from Victoria, Australia. That's Paul Uberdell, and he's on 1928 Indian Chief, and David Grady is on a 1928 Harley-Davidson JL. Looking up the road, I spot two Gruff Superiors. Paul D'Orleans from San Francisco is riding a 1926, and he's got Amy Stretchberg on back, I believe. The other Gruff Superior is ridden by Bob Grassler. Two gorgeous motorcycles turning in to Kersting's Harley-Davidson. We spot three more bikes rolling in. That's Rob Pressey, he's from Canada, he's on a 28 Harley-Davidson. Tom Banks is from Pennsylvania, and he's on a 1921 Harley. And Joe Bartman is from Elgin, Illinois, on a 1923 Harley-Davidson Model J. And now we spot Buck Carson. He's from Texas. He's on a 25 Harley-Davidson. Kelly Molden from Kansas is on a 28 Indian Chief. Gene Harper and Jan Caro in that sidecar. That's a 1928 Indian Chief. Brett Mayfield is from Ohio. He's on a 25 Harley. And Red Bonish, he's from Washington State. He's on a 1917 Henderson four-cylinder. As we spot Doc Hopkins with the sidecar with his girlfriend, Lynn Minsky. Those are on Harley-Davidson, and his daughter is also riding a Harley-Davidson. That's Kristen. She's a drag racer, and we're going to have a chance to talk to them later on today. With more than half the motorcycles arriving here at Kersting's Harley-Davidson and Yamaha, I spot this Indian. This red Indian we spotted at Motobot this year. It's a 1913 Indian twin cylinder. This bike has a 3-speed transmission and a clutch. And the owner, who we will talk to, can also watch my show every week because he lives in Lake Forest, Illinois. Let's talk to Fred Wacker.
My name's Fred Wacker, and I'm riding bike number 118, which is a 1913 Indian Twin. It was my father's bike. Lucky Indian, Lucky 13 Racing is our team, and Joe Willano is my mechanic. Frank Shadell is my engineer, and John Schnitter is the engine builder. And we got a great team. Our bike's running perfect. We've made every mile so far, and really feel blessed to have a bike that's as well prepared as this. It's running great.
Thank you, Fred. And it was Joe Olato, the Gucci doctor, that explained about these Indian motorcycles. In 1910 and 1911, they were belt drive motorcycles. In 1912, they added a clutch. In 1913, they added a 3-speed transmission. Great progress was made in the early teens in the last century on motorcycles. As we see, 2 more motorcycles rolling in. All these motorcycles were built before 1928, as we spot 3 Hendersons. Number 4 belongs to Mark Hill, and it's a 1917. The number 14 bike belongs to Lauren Hill, and that's a 1916. The one with number 49 that belongs to Frank Westfall, and he is sponsored by Wheels Through Time Museum. My good friend Dale Waxler owns Wheels Through Time Museum, so I'm going to have a chance to talk to Frank Westfall.
This was on my bike. My thing.
Henderson Across America t-shirts. Hustling gas money. Actually got to hustle to fix my gas tank. Split.
Do you know who William is at the Harley-Davidson motorcycle shop?
No.
Okay. He lives right
Yeah, whatever.
So is Dale sponsoring you?
Yes.
I'm pretty good friends with Dale.
Dale's awesome. Let me just straighten these out.
So all 3 of these bikes the same?
They're all Hendersons. Yes, sir. 3X. 23. Thank you, sir.
Tell me your name and tell me about
Frank
the trip so
Westfall,
far.
Syracuse, New York. I've done this more than any fool. I've done every Cannonball, and I've done the Great Race twice on my Hendersons. The only way to see America on an old Henderson riding on the back roads across America. Henderson Across America t-shirts here, 20 bucks. Awesome, sir.
Hopefully I got too long. I'll give you 20.
Where you?
So besides the gas tank, any other experiences on the road? No. Everything fine?
Like aluminum gas tanks, trying to lighten the load, but I don't think they're as strong as a nice steel one, okay? There's my opinion. But you know what? I go with what my motor builder tells me to do. And to fix my gas tank.
Beautiful thing.
You got it.
Great shirt.
Thank you, thank you.
So you got some 3Xs?
Got 2X.
All right.
Thank you, Frank. As I spot this 1927 Indian Scout, and this bike came all the way from New Zealand. We had a chance to talk to the owner.
Yeah, I'm John Turney. I'm from New Zealand. Having a great ride right across the States. It's 3,800 miles nearly, and it's 107 motorcycles. So it's a big deal to get right across. Everyone's safe. I think we had an incident today. Mike Carson's had a bit of an injury, and we're here till 23rd of September, I think. So we end up in Portland, Oregon.
Portland to Portland.
Portland to Portland.
Okay, tell me about your bike.
So the bike's 27 Scout. I bought it 18 months ago. It wasn't running, so we had a lot of work to do on it. Rebuilt another engine as well, so we've got 2 engines. And we've just come with like a box of spares and a bunch of hand tools.
Thank you, John. As I spot this 1912 Excelsior, this is a belt drive motorcycle, and I had a chance to talk to 3 riders from Carmichael, California, which is a suburb of Sacramento.
I'm Mark Lowen. I'm from Sacramento, California. That's a 1912 Excelsior. It's a twin-cylinder belt drive, and it's a chore.
Any exciting story on the road?
Oh, we ran into a big road closure and construction, and we thought it turned into it was an accident, and they closed the highway for a while, and a little detour, and got off our miles. So finally figured out where we were, and here we are.
My name is Victor Brukov, and I've got a 1914 Harley-Davidson 10E model. Had it for 42 years.
I want to put some of my stuff in your bag before we leave.
I've ridden it 5 times now across the U.S.
Most of your stops this busy?
Yeah, roughly about the same. Yeah, it's great to
So
see
it's great.
so many
So
people
that's
out.
great. Yeah, I agree.
And we all appreciate it.
My name's Jeremy Lowen. I'm riding this 1925 Harley-Davidson JD. This is my first time doing the Motorcycle Cannonball race. My dad's done it. This is his 3rd time. This is the bike he rode the first time he did it. Didn't make it all the way across. And now both of the bikes we're riding are rebuilt, and hopefully we're going to make all the miles.
How about going through the Appalachian Mountains? Was there any?
Yeah, I mean, this thing actually takes the hills pretty well. It cruises up them rather nice, so it's been pretty easy cruise on this so far, just basic maintenance.
Thank you, gentlemen. As I spot this wicker sidecar, I had a chance to talk to this crew from Wisconsin, starting with Lynn Skavinky, who is riding in the sidecar.
Riding in the sidecar?
Yeah.
Well,
Tell me your name first.
my name's Lynn Javicki. I'm from Cincinnati. I'm Doc's girlfriend, and this is my first Cannonball. And we started in Portland, Maine. And this is my ride, this 1913 wicker sidecar. And it's actually very comfortable. That's the first question everybody says. Is it comfortable? Yes, it is comfortable. So, it's your turn.
Tell me about the bikes. Your name?
I'm Steve Doc Hopkins from Bondwell, Wisconsin, 20 miles from Lambeau Field. Anyway, we're riding a 1916 Harley-Davidson that I built from parts and pieces, kind of like Johnny Cash, piece at a time.
Yeah.
Put this sidecar on here for Lynn to ride in, and I did the Cannonball in 2016 and had a perfect score with this motorcycle. Of the 100 that left, only 16 made it with a perfect score, and I was number 10 of those 16. So they said I'd never do it with a sidecar, but I did. So now we're trying it again. See if it's going to work.
Okay, and your name?
I'm Kersting, Doc's daughter, and this is my first Cannonball. This is my bike here that I'm riding. It's a 1922 Harley, and I'm just excited to be here.
So tell me about riding a bike. Any challenges with a tank shift and?
It's a little bit of getting used to, you know. I've been riding motorcycles for years. I also drag race nitro Harleys, so I'm no stranger to motorcycles. But you know, had to learn a little tricks of the trade with driving a bike with a foot clutch and hand shift. So.
Thank you, Lynn, Kirsten, and Doc. And now we spot another rider from Wisconsin. This is Chris Tribby. We talked to him at the Badger AMCA meeting at Rhonda's Firehouse in Kenosha. This is a 1911 Excelsior. This motorcycle was made in Chicago. It is a belt drive, single-cylinder motorcycle. It is 107 years old, and Chris is riding it across America.
So how are you?
Fine. Ready to go. Ready to go.
How's the bike holding up?
Beautiful.
Good. Tires doing well?
Yeah, everything's
You never put any brakes on those, did you? Has that been a handicap?
Well, they're challenging.
I should point out that one side of this tank is for oil and the other side is for gasoline. It has a drip system for the oil, and Chris is noticing that the rear wheel bearings are loose. Now, if you have any experience with a bicycle with a coaster brake, that is the system on this motorcycle. As you may remember, with your bicycle with a coaster brake, the bearings would come loose every once in a while, and I remember as a kid having to readjust the bearing package. So we're going to watch Chris do a little maintenance on this rear wheel. He's using the stock 1911 wheel using a coaster brake. As Chris adjusts the rear bearings and the coaster brake on this 1911 Excelsior with the belt drive, I spot two Indian 1928 Indian 401s, and I get to talk to the two riders from Santa Cruz, California.
Dan Craft, Santa Cruz, California. I surf every day when I'm home, so I have to give that up for a month while I do this. So the other guys are on my waves while I'm out here. So I said, hold me a spot. Now we're on here, these things are all trying to seize up, burn up, or blow up all the time.
Doug Feinsod.
Winemaker.
We don't have our T-shirt. We are the what are we?
What the Santa Cruz? No, Surf City Vintage.
Yeah, Surf City Vintage Riders. And we don't even have a T-shirt here to represent that.
We gave most of them away.
Yeah.
Tell me about the bikes.
Well, they're pretty matched.
You would like that. Put the camera on those things.
I will after we talk.
Tell them what they are.
These are a pair of matched 28 Indian 401s. They're pretty fun. You can see this one here. You can see these are really hard to negotiate. Watch this. Got your film running?
Yes.
How about that? Listen to that. Listen, come over here. Put your camera right down here. That's like a little slow on the screen. How about that? Pretty neat stuff right there.
You see get on that Cannonball logo right there. A friend of ours did that. Neil Ralph, the striper.
Looks great. So where'd you pick these bikes up?
Well, you just find them laying around sometimes if you're lucky. I've actually had this one for 25 years.
So how many Cannonballs have you run?
He's done every one of them.
You've done all of them?
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm a piker. I put that one in the ditch in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Went down. It was my own stupid mistake. I didn't get the side stand up in time, and I was going across a couple lanes of traffic, and the kickstand came down and pogoed me. It was already down. Pogoed me right across the traffic and down into a ditch, but we tumbled and made a good picture. So it survived and I survived, and it took about 6 or 8 of us to push it out of the ditch. I think it was 8 feet deep. Grass hanging all over it, and mud, and salamanders, and whatever else was dripping off of it.
They got these many people at the different stops?
Yeah.
We've been mobbed this time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Good.
Huge crowd.
That's great.
Something like yesterday, you could hardly move. They were turning people away. They couldn't get them in there.
It's real humbling, you know, when we come out to these places, everybody throws out all their food, you know, for us, and they can't do enough for us. It's really humbling.
Thank you, gentlemen. As we look at the trailer of bikes that have broken down since they left Portland, Maine, I should point out that overnight on the different stops, the riders and their help can repair these motorcycles and they can rejoin the ride across America. And now it's time for me to head out Kersting's Harley-Davidson and Yamaha, North Judson, Indiana, with a great motorcycle museum. You should make this one of your destinations. It's a great ride from Chicago. It's a great ride from anywhere. Jim Kersting and his family, Sandy, Jason, and Randy have a great Harley-Davidson dealership, Yamaha dealership, and a fantastic museum. Now we're heading south on Indiana Highway 39. And as we make a right-hand turn, we are now heading west, heading towards Portland, Oregon. I spot this bike in front of me. I believe this is Mike Johnson with the 1916 Excelsior. Mike is from Council Bluffs, Iowa, on the far western edge of Iowa. A beautiful 1916 Excelsior. It sounds great. It's running great. And now crossing US Highway 421 is at 1926 Grove Superior. That's Paul d'Orleans. And on the back, I think that's Amy Slutzberg. As more bikes wait for the traffic to let them across. This is a US highway. They continue west. The next bike that I am following, it looks like number 92, which would be Brian Peace. He's on a 1916 Henderson. As you can see, this bike runs fast and straight, and it looks great. Waving as he crosses the highway, that is Doug Wonke. He's from Florida. He's on a 1928 Indian Scout, and I believe that was Frank Westfall smiling as he went by on his 4-cylinder Henderson. And now we see Brian Bramwell. He's on a 1912 Indian, and he's from Ottawa, California. I have now caught up with the threesome from the Green Bay, Wisconsin area. That's Kersting Hailing, and she is the drag racer racing Nitro Harley-Davidsons. I want to get together with her next summer. She races anywhere near Chicagoland, and cover some of her drag racing with Nitro Harleys. But she's running that 1922 Harley-Davidson straight and fast. Up ahead, that's her dad, Doc Hopkins, and riding in the side hack, it is Lynn Javicki. She mentioned that the side hack, or the sidecar, this wicker sidecar, was very comfortable. I'm going to make plans to visit their motorcycle shop. Doc said it was 20 miles from Lambeau Field. Whoa, a piece of something, maybe a foot peg, something rubber, fell out of that basket on the bike in front of Doc. watch next spring. I'm going to head up to Doc's Harley-Davidson in Wisconsin, and we'll do a show. I hope he lets me ride that 1916 Harley with the sidecar. Now we spot 3 Nortons from Dallas, Texas. Number 77 is Richard Asprey's on a 1915 Norton. 116 was Keith Martin on a 1925 Norton. And Chris Perry was on 115. It's a 1923 Norton. As we see Chris Privy come by on that Excelsior, he's pedaling a little bit to get up to speed. And I catch up with Chris on the highway as we continue west. We're in northern Indiana. It's a beautiful day to be on the road. And I'm happy to report of the 107 motorcycles built before 1928 that started this event, 45 had perfect scores. They covered 3,441 miles from Portland to Portland. Chris had a little problem in the Rocky Mountains. He lost some points, but Chris did cross the finish line. A total of 89 bikes did cross the finish line in Portland. For more information on the Motorcycle Cannonball, Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon, 3,400 miles. Their website is motorcyclecannonball.com, motorcyclecannonball.com. For more information on Kersting Cycle Center and Museum, Harley-Davidson and Yamaha, call them at 574-896-2974. Their website is kerstingcycle.com. To get a hold of me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. You can search for more motorcycle racing clips on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing. It was a great day, a great group of riders right here in the good old USA.